I am stuck in traffic right now, and I'll take this opportunity to just make an observation. And that is, I'm noticing now, after the, in my judgment, ill-advised attack on the sovereign country of Iran, whatever you think of their regime, whatever you think of their ruling establishment, just going and attacking a country, forcing a regime change. You know, I thought that we were done with that. That sounds so 2003. Here we are 23 years later, and it's 2003 all over again with Iran instead of Iraq. But wouldn't you know it, there are suddenly all of these voices, all of these articles being written, and all of these influencers coming out of the woodwork saying, no, you're wrong. You're actually wrong. All you people who are critical of the Trump administration's decision to attack Iran, you're just actually ignorant of history, and Trump and his allies are actually the knowledgeable ones, and they're correct to invade or to attack Iran. I guess it hasn't been an invasion yet. They're just trying to, they're doing their best to try to dislodge the ruling regime, force a regime change, and just laying as much waste to the country as possible right now. Them in concert with Israel, of course. And all of you people out there who are saying, wait a minute, why are we fighting a war that's in Israel's interest but not in the United States' interest? Why should we put Americans in peril to fight against a country that does not that is not about to invade us, is not about to bomb us or commit terrorism against us, but we're actually acting in the interest, pretty transparently in the interest of a country, namely Israel, that has a huge lobby, you know, in the form of AIPAC, in the form of what's been called the Israel lobby. You know, a huge number of people who are very, very powerful, very influential, who have dual Israeli American citizenship, who seem to have encouraged this in my humble opinion, ill-advised attack on a sovereign country. You know, if Israel's having problems with Iran, if Israel feels imperiled by Iran, and thinks that they're in danger of being wiped off the map by Iran if they develop a nuclear weapon, well, then let Israel take care of it. This isn't necessarily an anti-Israel thing. It's just a non-intervention thing. It's a avoiding entangling alliances thing. But what I'm seeing happen, and I just want to call it like I see it. What I'm seeing happen right now is there are suddenly these voices coming out of the woodwork, these influencers, suddenly these articles, these think pieces being written, say, you know, the last straw was something I saw where it's from this conservative YouTuber called Dad Saves America, and he was in his latest video saying, oh, well, you know what, all of the things that Ron Paul and the anti-interventionists were saying about the CIA being involved in overthrowing the regime in Iran and installing a pro-Western regime. You know, all of the stories of the CIA which is of a piece of the CIA being involved in mischief and mayhem and murder and terror all across the world, which is basically the history of the CIA. That's all wrong. At least it's wrong as far as it applies to Iran. And suddenly, so it's like, what, you know, everything we were that they were okay with us believing that it was accepted wisdom and accepted truth concerning the overreach of the CIA and their out of control behavior, and how they didn't seem to be restrained by any other countervailing force. They just did what they wanted, what they saw as in line with the interest of really of themselves, of the ruling class, the bankers of Wall Street, etc., and so on. Suddenly now, you know, oh no, that's all wrong. What you heard was all wrong. What Ron Paul told you, you know, all you people who had Ron Paul stickers in 2012 before putting up Trump stickers in 2016, when Trump was saying all of the anti-interventionist things, when Trump was saying we should never have gone into Iraq. That was a total mistake. And you remember the stir that caused? Remember how the neocons were so angry about that? Well, now they're saying, no, you need to embrace the neocon line again. Except it's not you're not really being a neocon, and you're being a, I don't know what they call it. You're supporting Netanyahu, and you're supporting all of the things that the neocons want you to support, but they don't call it. They don't say it's they say you're still based. You know, you're still a based. It's still based to be a Trump supporter, even after, you know, he tried to bury the Epstein story, and even after he betrayed his base by going to war against Iran, by embracing this interventionist mentality that most of his supporters thought he wasn't. They thought that he represented a clean break from that whole, a clean break, if you will, from that whole perspective, from that whole way of doing things. No, and these new voices are saying, and you're seeing them pop up in think pieces, and you know, in places like the Free Press, this new entity that's suddenly everywhere. That's very much of a Daily Wire-esque, body of argumentation. But it's saying, you know, Trump is still based, and you're based to, if you like Trump, and it really the based way to look at what's going on in Iran is to be pro-Trump and pro the invasion of Iran, and to support all of that. That's what they're saying. And I think here's what really brought me into this fray. You know, the thing with the video, the Dad Saves America video, which you can watch. You can go over to his channel and watch it if you are interested. But here's the thing, if I may get personal for a second. When I saw that Matt Forney was back on uh, he was back on Twitter, and everything he was saying was, oh, Tucker Carlson is stupid. Tucker Carlson is a leftist. All of the people who support Tucker Carlson and who are against the war in Iran, they're just, he insulted them, and like his whole this is like this new ideology that he suddenly embraced. Matt Parrott, who was AWOL. Matt Parrott, who was the editor of Terror House Press, and was doing a good job as editor of Terror House Press for a long, long time. And then suddenly, I don't know what happened. Suddenly he just became impossible to reach, and he wasn't paying off the authors. He wasn't returning emails. Nothing was happening. Suddenly everything stagnated with Terror House Press. And he was the main editor, and he was doing jack squat for like a year or two. He was just, I don't know what he was up to, and I'm not going to speculate. But Matt Parrott, who never had voiced this kind of ideology before, suddenly he's back. Suddenly he's on Twitter or X, and he's parroting all of these talking points, all of these pro-Trump, pro-Iran war, pro-Israel talking points, and this was never his perspective before, and and Elon Musk responded to one of his tweets. Matt Parrott tweeted something, I can't remember what it was, and Elon Musk wrote a supportive tweet in response to something that Matt Parrott had said on Twitter. So suddenly Matt Parrott's got all this juice. Matt Parrott, who had totally disappeared, totally left everyone behind, totally left all of his stable of authors, including myself, in the dust. Suddenly he's back, and espousing this whole line. It's a completely new thing, completely new. After in my estimation, betraying Terror House Press, betraying the authors. I mean, again, I don't want to sound ungrateful for the period of time where he was publishing my books and helping to publicize them, and he was doing the same for some other authors, and I guess he just didn't feel like doing that anymore, and he just flaked and was totally gone. And I've kept mum about it, because I don't do that. I don't like to get personal. I like to take the high road. But now I've got to like I've got to call a spade here. I mean, there's something is afoot. Something is afoot when Matt Parrott is now has this enough juice to where Elon Musk himself is reading and responding to his tweets, and suddenly he's on this this pro-war with Iran perspective. Again, I see he's just one manifestation of it. I see it happening all over the place. I suspect it's astroturfed. Again, I suspect that there's money behind it. I can't prove this, of course. In Matt's case, I can't prove that he's getting paid off for writing the kind of tweets that he's writing, but I certainly find it interesting that he's suddenly taken this perspective that was never his perspective before, and that he's got enough juice that Elon Musk himself is responding to his tweets. Elon Musk has never responded to any of my tweets. I can tell you that. Even when I embarrass myself, even when I'm getting really, I'm gonna get really vulnerable here now. Even when I directly wrote a tweet to Elon Musk, telling him this was a few years ago, when he had first taken over Twitter, and Twitter was a free speech zone again, and I was thankful to him for that. And he was, helping people out, paying people's legal fees and doing stuff like that. And I wrote to him saying, hey, Elon, I'm somebody who, if you need somebody to help work for you, I'm willing to do it. I know you could pay me at least something, but I'm basically blacklisted everywhere else. I can't get hired anywhere. I've got the stain of being part of the alt-right, and I've got all that stuff, in my past. And so I wrote to him. Did I hear anything back? Nope. I did not hear back from Elon. I'm not mad at Elon for not responding to me. I'm sure he gets zillions of people writing to him personally, asking for things. But to see someone like Matt Parrott, who really had gone down this rather ignominious route of who just again left Terror House Books in the dust, left its authors in the dust, after a couple of years of being supportive of putting our work out, and suddenly he's gone. He's just gone. And then he reappears in this new form, parroting this ideology that suddenly is popping up all over the place, where they're trying to tell you, oh well, you people who were who were in favor of Trump because you were against, the neocons and the neolibs, and you're anti-interventionist, and now Trump is trying to remake the Middle East and to make Iran a repository of Western values, whatever Western values are worth these days. I don't really give I don't give a fig for Western values circa, quote unquote, Western values circa 2026. When I see the West in 2026, I don't want that to be spread across the world. I don't want that. I don't want to see that springing up in Iran. Now, this is I know things are complicated. This is not meant as any dig against Iranians who have suffered under the Ayatollah's regime. I know the Ayatollah regime is not great. It's not a binary thing. It's not, either one is good and the other is terrible, or vice versa. But just to see this pro-war, pro-interventionist line being taken by the likes of Matt Forney. It's just really something. It's something to see. There's something going on. There's a lot of money being spent on propping up these pro-Iran war perspectives and trying to get people to change their mind. Like this Dad Saves America video is trying to say, oh well, just you may have thought that this, all you people who thought Ron Paul was on the right track and were against American interventionism, against the seizure of power by the CIA, the numerous coups and assassinations, including probably of an American president, that they've engaged in throughout the last half century or more. You're actually wrong. We need to take a total 180. Actually, the CIA are the good guys. They were the good guys in Iran. They were trying to make Iran a good. They were trying to do the right thing for Iran. They were trying to do right by Iran. They were inspired by the desire to help the Iranian people by propping up the Shah, a dictator who engaged in brutality. I don't know. I've got to call it like I see it, and I'm calling it like I see it. So take it or leave it.